Hey you guys, and also a big hello to Whovians and retro gaming fans alike. Seeing as we've just celebrated the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who, I was excited to find out there was actually a Doctor Who game released on the Amstrad CPC. So I've decided to take a look. And this was released by Micropower in 1986. It was a newly written story featuring the then 6th Doctor, Colin Baker. But it didn't sell very well, I'm guessing because, well, the series was still slipping in the ratings. The Doctor himself was an arrogant, multicoloured arsehole, and poor advertising from Micropower despite big spending on that, as you can see here. So, here on this video we're going to take a brief look at the game and the first section, with hopefully a view to doing more parts of the game to completion, because I'm yet to see a long play of this on YouTube. Okay, right, a bit of backstory. Micropower acquired the Doctor Who license. There were a few of Doctor Who games released by BBC themselves, but they somehow got the license and set about re-engineering the already in production sequel to an earlier BBC game called Castle Quest. And when the BBC version was released, it actually had to come with its own special ROM chip that had to be plugged into the computer. And the box had loads of stuff in it. It was a very packed box, very expensive release game as well, very high price. God, it had maps inside, clues and hints, some kind of weird security card thing you need to use at some point in the game, and a very, very long-winded backstory. Anyway, the Amstrad version is apparently almost identical to the BBC version. And the one for the C64 is probably the best of them all, with a redesigned interface which, in my opinion, works a lot better. And there's plenty of videos of that on YouTube actually, so go and check out the C64 version. The Specky version was never released. It was long in development and long advertised. Micropower, I think, had spent pretty much all their money on the, well, so much of their money on the license. The ROM chips for the BBC version, I'm guessing, and then advertising. I think I spent about 25 grand on the advertising. It pretty much put them out of business, and this was the last game they ever released, and pretty much one of the last Doctor Who games until Alternative Software's Dalek Attack in 1992. So, anyway, on to the story. It's a long-winded story. I'll give you a brief introduction. We're on the moons of Ryjar fighting the Master, the Doctor's long-running nemesis, who is building a Tiru device, an acronym for the Time Instant Replay Unit, which in the Master's hands would be chaos, allowing him to edit time, allowing the future of the universe to be altered, and he wants the Doctor's brain for it as well. So the Master and his evil Madrag monster has enslaved the Rygans, you'll see them as little green men in the game, to mine heatonite used to produce the Tiru, and guards the mines and the manufacturing plant with suspiciously Dalek-like the controllers. You, as the Doctor, need to shut down the manufacturing, blow up the reactor, and escape in the TARDIS. But guys, it's not as simple as it sounds. This is a scrolling platformer adventure game with several things to collect and tasks to do. Lots of puzzles to solve. Simple puzzles, but given the basic nature of the graphics, it's a little confusing what objects are and what exactly they do. So it's quite tricky and complex, and the controllers are a pain in the arse. Now, I've spent hours studying manuals, hints and tips found around the internet, and I'm still not 100% sure what I need to do and where. So I may not ever complete this. Therefore, this video is just giving you a quick introduction to the game, a little mini-ish review, and we're going to complete like the first sort of puzzle and section to solve in the actual mines area, and I may do future video parts. But quickly, last thing to mention is that Micropower couldn't get the rights to the Daleks or K9, so the Daleks are now the controllers in the game, and K9 is replaced by Splinks, a robotic cat that can be programmed to complete certain tasks. And we'll give a little demonstration of that shortly, but let's start the game up anyway. And well, one thing I haven't gone into detail about just yet is the control scheme, which is an absolute nightmare. But I don't want to bore you, we want to get started on the game. At the end of this video, I'll describe the controls in detail, which by the way can't be redefined, seem to be missing from the manual, and you can't use a joystick. So in my emulator I've just remapped all the keys to something a little bit more easier. But here's the loading and title screen. Colin Baker there, not bad at all, and a pretty decent rendition of the Doctor Who theme as well. It starts off quite well, but at some point it all starts going out of sync and discordant. Not sure if that's an emulator issue. Probably is. Yeah, pretty good stuff. But this is where it starts going wrong. So we'll start things up. And you can actually load a save game as well. You've got the disc version, at least, I think. You can save games to disc. And we'll show you where at the end of the video how to do that. Here we go. We start off in the mines. There's the TARDIS and there's the Splinks cap. So what we'll do first of all is just give you a quick demonstration of how to use the Splinks, just for a minute. So what I've done here is laid out a marker there, the number 1, just on top of an egg, which is the Madrag's egg, and there's Splinks just before it. And this is where we can program the Splinks. So we're going to tell it to go to marker 1 as first. We're going to tell it to pick it up, the egg, and then tell it to go to marker 2, which are placed further along, and then drop the egg, and then have to follow the Doctor, and then shut down. And then we press E to execute, as you can see there in the middle of the screen, and he goes active, and we can watch what he does. So there you go, he's gone to marker 1, picked up the egg, and then he's rolling across the floor. Marker 2 is all over to the left hand side of the screen in a cave. There's marker 2. Sphinx drops the egg, so the Splinks, and then returns to the Doctor. But he doesn't seem to shut down though, so we'll just press H to halt him, and he'll go inactive. And bear in mind his energy drains quite quickly, and you need to find places to recharge him, which I haven't worked out yet. And we will see the Madrag coming. There he goes, chasing after the egg, and that's how he escaped the mines. So let's start this off. Part 1, getting the pickaxe, the Madrag, the oxygen mask, and the mysterious box. So first of all, we've got to go and get a pickaxe, which we'll use to destroy a wall on the far right of the mine to get into the next section. And we'll notice there's these little green creatures, the Rygens. Oh, there's a controller there. You can see a little Rygen there. He's hacking away there, and he's collecting heatonite, which is used to make the Tyria device. So we'll follow him here, and he'll drop a pickaxe very shortly, and that will help halt the manufacturing process as well, get his extra points, because they won't have a pickaxe then, I think. So we got the pickaxe, picked it up, some horrible sprites flashing there, not very good. So we'll put it back in our pocket and pick up the Splinks, and we're going to take him down a ladder, because he can't go down ladders unfortunately by himself. And we're going to take him to where the Madrag egg is. P to pick up, and then P to throw him. He seems to have gone into the scenery there. But hold down the right key and press P to throw him, and then release, or P and down to drop him in the where you stood. So we're picking up marker 1 there, which I think you select it, then press S to pick it up, and then P and down to drop it. You have to drop it right on the egg, otherwise the Splinks won't pick up the egg. It has to be in the right spot. And we're going to move to the left hand side here into this little cave, just to give us a bit of a breathing room. There we go, we dropped thrown marker 2 there. And then going back up to the TARDIS and over to the far right. And a bit of jumping involved. It's the return key you have to press, or enter key to jump. I've remapped that to a fire button on a joystick. And there's the Madrag, and he just patrols left and right there. And that's the little bit of cave there we need to hack through with the pickaxe. So we're going to select that ready. And then we're going to program the splinks. So you can tell him to go to 1, pick up, and then go to marker 2, and then drop, and then follow, and he'll return to the doctor. So, and then we press E to execute, and the program's active, and off he goes. Obviously we can't see what he's doing, so hopefully we've done it right. Oh gosh, I made a mistake there. I know what I did. Go back to the splinks. The marker on the bottom of the splinks control is already set on F there. I need to move it back. You can start the program at a certain point halfway through your pre-programmed stuff, which I didn't realise at the time when I started this long play. So I've drained a lot of energy. So I've just restarted the program there from the first command. Oops. And we'll have to get the splinks recharged as soon as possible, really. And we'll just have to wait for him to go and pick up the egg and start moving off it, and then the Madrag will start moving off the screen. Annoyed that someone's stolen his egg. And by the way, oh, there he goes. Yes. And by the way, don't walk into any of the eggs or try and pick them up. It will hatch a little mini Madrag and it will kill you. So now we've got time to drop down and hack away there. For some reason the bottom piece isn't disappearing. You can get rid of it. Sometimes by moving left and using the pickaxe, it seems to disappear. So the splinks has returned, so we'll shut him down. He's only got energy of 23 out of 100 left. So that's taken quite a bit of energy. It's taken about 2/3 of his energy to do that. And I'm not sure why we can't get through there. We're pressing the U key to use an object. We've got the pickaxe there. And just to the right there, oh, looks like we can walk through. Just to the right there is the oxygen mask, which we'll need to use in certain parts of the game. We'll see it later in this part, actually. Pick up the splinks. Oh, we're just going to throw them across there so we can pick up the... keep picking up the bloody splinks. Yes, P to pick that up. And we're going to, I think S to put it back in your pocket. Right, pick up the splinks. And by the way, the Madrag will come back to there. See, it's really tough to get back into the mines and cave system there, which we will need to. And also, we've left the markers there as well. So we've lost those markers unless we go back and pick them up, which is a bit annoying. Pick up the explosives. Do not walk into them, otherwise they will blow up. And then we're going to have to carry the splinks through this sort of horrible controller section here. Lots of controllers walking about. But we just need to get to the right here, and then we can get into the lift system. And there's the lift system there. You just walk in and just zoom up and down. Now the Doctor can regenerate several times. I think it's 6 or 7 times you can regenerate. I've not counted. But we can go into the... but you can force regenerate, which will take you back to a particular, the last sort of starting or save position, which we may use a few times in this game to our benefit. And there we're going up like this turbo lift or whatever. Locked door there, can't get through. But we're pretty safe there, so it's good a place as any to drop the splinks for now. And we've pressed the escape key and we've forced a regeneration. It says a regeneration due to request. And we get zapped back to the TARDIS. But where's the TARDIS gone? It's gone further into the game, I believe. which is what we'll use to escape. Oh yeah, forgot to pick up the markers there. So we'll pick up those markers because they might prove useful later in the game. We've still got 2 markers left, 3 and 4. But whilst we're here, we might as well grab them. It's a shame that the Splinks doesn't pick up the marker, which is rather annoying. I've tried to make him pick them up during the course of his operation with the egg, but he won't. So the poor old doctor has to manually go and pick him up. Excellent. Don't pick up the egg though, it'll hatch and you'll die. So got the markers. Now, this is the next part we're doing. At the top of the mine, above the surface, is another object to pick up. But if you go out on the surface of the moon, you'll die from suffocation. So, if you remember, we not long picked up the oxygen mask. Oh, there's a little Ryjon, little green man. And we'll use that oxygen mask so we can walk outside in the atmosphere. And just follow my route here. And it's a mysterious box, and no one seems to know quite what it's for and why we need it. Some websites list it as a briefcase or packing case. Some call it a box. I don't think anyone knows what it's used for. Just the right there, it's not clear what that thing is there. It's a CSC, the yellowy thing. That's a Stasis Chamber, which is basically used as a save point in the game. Anyway, I'm going to select the oxygen mask there. And then we can move out through this doorway. And obviously out into the thing. And there's the box to pick up. What we need to do is very, very quickly put it in your pocket, pick up, put it in your pocket, select the gas mask again, sorry, the oxygen mask. And phew, we've just survived. And if you can see there just above my head, that's a spanner we'll need to pick up later in the game, which will be used to open hatchways and stuff. But there we go. That's the first that's all the kind of the puzzles in the mines area solved. And put away the gas mask. And we'll go to the Stasis Chamber. And we press the L key here. L. Sure. And we can save the game. So there we go. That's the first save point as well done. So that's the first part of the Mines of Terror. Now, the only thing I haven't mentioned yet and gone through is the controls. Well, I've mentioned it sort of bits and bobs. Here they are. What a nightmare. You may want to sort of remap them using an emulator. No joystick control, and very awkward to use and confusing. The Commodore 64 version did it much better, but with a similar control scheme, but a better panel. It's all done within the game. So there you go. That's the first part, my Mines of Terror walkthrough done. Hopefully I'll be back with more parts of the long play walkthrough. I will do it bit by bit over time. Certainly if the demand's there, I'll get more parts up as sooner rather than later. So let me know if you want me to do that. And thanks for watching. Cheers, and see you soon. Goodbye.